Their farm was down a track, over a mile from the road, and that was just a quiet country lane. They'd never been troubled by cold callers, and no one ever drove up the rutted, potholed track by mistake. Anyone who came here had a reason, and the last nocturnal visitors a couple of months ago had been a bunch of youths from a nearby caravan site lamping rabbits. Norris Denning, their elderly farmhand, who had come with the farm as a long-time employee and had been a godsend to them, lived with his wife in the former gamekeeper's cottage a few hundred yards back down the track. He'd sent the lampers packing. The sound of the engines became louder, nearer, and as it did so, the barking of the dogs became more manic. Then Tim saw the silhouette of an off-roader vehicle with no lights on enter his farmyard. It was followed by another, a pickup truck. He felt a stab of fear. What the hell was going on? These weren't lampers. Then he saw the flare of a flashlight behind them, heard a shout, an angry shout. Norris's voice. "Hey!" the farmhand shouted. Sharon stirred. "What's going on?" she murmured sleepily. "Call the police," Tim said quietly and urgently. "Call 999 and say we have intruders." He pulled on some jeans and a sweatshirt, hurried downstairs and shoved his feet into his Wellingtons. Then he grabbed his barber jacket and the large torch from the shelf above the boot rack by the front door, switched it on, opened the door, and shone the powerful beam ahead. And stared in bewilderment, anger momentarily masking his fear. In the beam, he saw Norris standing, feet planted, torch crooked under one arm and pointing a shotgun at the intruders. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" he yelled in his Sussex burr. "You clear off right away, you hear me?" "Fuck off, Grandad, go back to bed," one of them jeered at the elderly farmhand. Then he grabbed the shotgun by the barrel and ripped it out of Norris's hands. Chapter 2. Thursday, the 25th of March. Through the blustery drizzle, behind the man now holding Norris's shotgun, Tim saw the barn doors were open and figures were moving around inside. Parked outside, engines still running, were an old Range Rover with its tailgate up and a Ford Ranger pickup in front of it. Two dogs, Rudy and Brayley, were barking furiously. Striding forward, Tim called out more assuredly than he felt right now, "Norris, it's all right, I can handle this." Turning to the man with the shotgun, he shouted, "What do you want?" As he did so, two men came out of the barn, holding a net full of wriggling creatures. The puppies, Tim saw to his horror. "Those are my dogs. What do you think you're doing?" he demanded, his voice masking his fear and sense of utter helplessness. Over to his left, he saw Norris's jigging flashlight, and a moment later heard him shout, "No, Tim, leave this to me, I'll stop 'em." Norris, who walked with a limp from a tractor accident years back, hobbled forward several paces. "Give me back my gun and clear off now! A bloody lot of you!" Tim felt momentarily helpless and terrified, as if he was trapped in one of those nightmares he sometimes had where he wanted to run but his legs wouldn't work and he couldn't get any traction. His brain was spinning. He had a shotgun and a rifle, but they were locked in a cabinet down in the cellar. If Sharon had called the police, it would be a good while before they got here. Far too long. "You!" Norris yelled, lumbering towards the Range Rover as one of the men closed the tailgate, then jumped into the back of the car. The engines of both vehicles were gunning now. Norris, wielding his flashlight, hurried to the front of the Range Rover and stood resolutely in front of it, shining the beam straight into the eyes of the driver. Tim heard the roar of an engine and the slithering of tyres spinning. Horrified, he could see what was about to happen. Not even thinking about his own safety, the former rugby player hurled himself at the farmhand and, with all his considerable strength, shoved him away to the side, watching him fall clear of the vehicle, the torch clattering to the ground beside him. Then he turned and, standing between its glaring headlights, faced the Range Rover, putting his arms up in furious defiance, shining the torch straight through the windscreen at two ugly, scowling faces. "You stop right there!" he shouted. From somewhere behind him he heard Sharon scream, Tim, no, the police are on their way." Before he had time to react, and to his shocked disbelief, the Range Rover began moving forward, striking him firmly with the force of a concrete wall in the midriff. Were they seriously trying to run him over? As the vehicle slowly picked up speed, pushing him backwards faster and faster, he panicked. This could not be happening, not here in this beautiful sanctuary.